Hello once again to all our viewers, our supporters, the faculty, staff, students, the alumni, of course, of Foundation University, as well as the general community all over the world watching iGreyhound. It's another Thursday, and we hope that you have made Thursdays as your regular habit, as we have also done in the past. So for tonight's episode, friends, because we are in for a busy week here at Foundation University, we have deemed it fit to invite one of the stalwarts of an event that Foundation University is hosting this week, and we would like to introduce this particular event and activity to all our viewers, even if this has already been going on for the past years. My name is Cecile Henove, and truly this is an honor and a privilege for me to introduce as well our guest for tonight's episode. May I introduce Mr. Jomar Allan Solania. First and foremost, he is a broadcast communication graduate of Foundation University, and he is the festival manager of the Lutas Film Festival, which just opened today. Hi, Jom, and welcome back to iGreyhound.
Yes, ma'am. Happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, and you are the festival manager. I know that you've been very busy today since we just opened. So tell us more about this festival, Jom.
Today we just opened Lutas, the 10th edition of Lutas Film Fest, and it's gonna be a 3-day event. So tomorrow we're basically gonna show first batch of films, and then we're gonna have a speaker on the afternoon, and then the last day we're gonna have a screening as well, and then another speaker in the afternoon. So it's gonna be a 3-day event.
Yeah, so this is now the 10th Lutas Film Festival, Jom. But I understand that we have had this particular festival or activity something like 11 years ago. So in other words, was there a year that we skipped showing some films?
Yes, actually we skipped the year 2016. So basically, it's our 11th year now, but as a celebration, it's our 10th.
Yes. So how many entries are there for this year, John?
This year is exciting because we have 15 short films, highest number so far.
Yes.
So exciting because we have films across Visayas and Mindanao, from Bacolod, Iloilo, Cebu, Davao, and of course here in Negros Oriental. So it's gonna be exciting.
So these are students or professionals?
Yes, students and professionals, but more on professionals now.
Yes, okay. What is the genre, Jom? I'm curious because I think in the past 2 festivals that I have watched, there was a particular genre that the filmmakers had focused on. So this year?
This year it's quite surprising because usually the genres that we usually, the entries are horror or comedies, but now it's quite surprising because you can see like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of thrillers, and the filmmakers for this year are they're pushing their boundaries, like topics or societal issues that they're tackling. So it's quite kind of surprising.
Yeah. So they are comfortable with this particular genre.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So there's a variety, in other words, Jom, no? Now again, curiosity, no? Why is it that very often our filmmakers, not only those who are participating in Lutas or any other film festival for that matter, why do they usually delve into horror or comedy?
I think because in my experience as well, like before, horror and comedy is so easy to do. Because you can like evoke the emotion of being horrified or to laugh at, diba? So it's so easy to execute. But in comparison to the ever evolving now, like for this year, not just horror, but we have this prestige horror. Like there's one entry who has like the genre is prestige horror, so it's kinda like so intriguing at the same time, and it's kind of different from the other installments.
Yes, and the fact that these filmmakers have delved into a variety of topics, what does that mean, Jom? Does this mean that they are now more attuned to the concerns that we have in society?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, they're really comfortable in expressing themselves, like, regardless of the genre.
Okay.
Like they just wanna tell stories, regardless of the genre, basically.
Yes.
So it's quite like, it's really like great to see and hear from them, to tell their stories.
Yeah.
From a from a different genre.
Yes, right. As a broadcast communication graduate, Jom, no, of course, of Foundation University, so you have been exposed to such events, such activities, and even various genres. What you have been saying. Do you see the transition, perhaps, or the evolution of the short film industry since when you were a student?
Yes, I have a lot of points, but first, from these 10 years, I can see the evolution really like, now you can see like, we have like our first filmmakers, the first installment of Lutas, like the earlier filmmakers, they are now mentoring the filmmakers now.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
Just from that, you can see like the dynamics of both the older generation of filmmakers and the newer generation of filmmakers. And secondly, like, you can tell that our filmmakers are starting to like do the unusual, like they get to like hire, shooters who can really do quality films, so instead of like shooting themselves.
Yeah, so that is allowed in the festival.
Yes, of
That's
course,
allowed.
definitely.
Okay.
And thirdly, because before, due to the smallness of the circle, the film community here in Dumaguete. So, like for example, me before, you can see me as an actor, and then for the next film, I'm a cinematographer, and then for the next film, I'm the editor. So, it's really like a small community before. But now, there's a wide array of filmmakers, from cinematographers, editors, actors, and etc. And also, the shooters here, like, because Negros Oriental is really can deliver like good quality films, but mostly are on the wedding and events.
I see. Okay.
So the standard here in our province is like, oh, the greatest shooters are wedding and events.
Okay.
No,
we call them videographers, right?
Videographers.
Yes. Okay. But they're not filmmakers, no?
There's a thin line between the definition of videographers and filmmakers, because the wedding and events, they tend to do films as well. It's kind of hard to explain, but their wedding films, their wedding videos tend to be like more films, more like a film na.
Yes, it's like there's drama, there's creativity.
Exactly.
No? Okay.
So you can tell na like those the wedding and event shooters are now doing films.
Okay.
So you can tell that there's a lot of people hopping in the filmmaking scene here in our province.
You mentioned making or creating a story. I think that's exactly what our videographers, videographers that we know of, no, usually do. They create a story out of a particular event or a wedding or something, no. Now, Lutas Film Festival, it's on its 10th year as a festival, but we're actually running 11 and counting, no. Has made Dumaguete City and even Foundation University as a byword. In other words, people come here, people remember or think of Foundation University and Dumaguete when they hear about Lutas Film Festival. So what does that make of our community, Jom, aside from what you had mentioned that our filmmakers now have evolved? What has the festival contributed? What have we contributed?
Actually, like nationally, like now Dumaguete is known for for rising filmmakers already. Like for an instance, this installment, like a lot of filmmakers from Manila, Mindanao, they really want to go here in Dumaguete, because they can tell that we have our own local stories, our own culture that hasn't been shown in other regions or other cultures as well. So they tend to like intrigue at the same time, and they want to learn more about Negros Oriental, and they definitely love Dumaguete.
Yes. And in fact, the other filmmakers also come from other parts of the country, no?
Yes.
Or the region for that matter. Now, tell us about the guest directors who are coming, Jom.
For this year, we have two speakers.
Okay.
Like they are the renowned filmmakers
Yeah.
in the industry right now.
Yes, yes.
First, we have Sonny Calvento.
Okay.
So he's based in Manila, and his first film was featured at Sundance Film Festival.
Okay.
So the first Filipino, so quite a milestone. And then his latest film now has been featured in Toronto International Film Fest. And our second speaker is Keith Deliguero. So he participated at Cinema One Film Festival, Q Cinema. And yeah, they are really renowned filmmakers, acclaimed directors as well.
So they will be conducting a lecture workshops,
lectures,
no? Yes.
For both days, tomorrow and on October 7.
Okay, and this is open to
open
everyone?
Publicly, like everyone can attend.
Great. No, we do not issue tickets or something like entrance fees.
But they have to register on our FB page.
Okay, you know, very interesting. Lutas, as I mentioned, I have heard personally, of Lutas. And how did this particular term come about, Jom? Lutas. But it's a Visayan word, right?
It's quite tricky because Lutas actually came from the word lutason.
Lutason, okay.
So lutason means basically, letting go of someone who is he or she is willing to stand on their own, to be set in the open world and do whatever he or she can do. So as a filmmaker, just go and be yourself and do things, endlessly, something like that.
Yeah. So in other words, endlessly or maybe limitless, the possibilities are limitless. The ideas, of course, are limitless. So the artistry and the creativity of our filmmakers, would this be dependent on perhaps the region where they are coming from, or their background, whatever it may be, or there is a term that we say today, yung may pinagdadaanan. In other words, if I make a film, saan ako huhugot? Where do I get the inspiration? Where do I get my materials? Where do I get my ideas? Because as you had said, lutasin, no? You let go of somebody and let him be.
That's why I want to invite our viewers to watch Lutas Film Fest, because you can tell that the short films has a personal approach to the directors. Like, you can tell that it's based on their experiences, on the current issues, events. So, like, this year is unique for what you were mentioned, like how personal it is to the director or filmmaker.
Yeah. Are there, again, I'll be watching it, of course, no? But are there films that are kind of autobiographical? Are there films, I don't know if you will be able to determine that, no? But is it part of your guidelines or something? Or are you allowing the filmmaker to simply just, Lutas, no? To simply just be himself or herself and just do their thing? Whether it is autobiographical, whether it is based, or whether it's based on real life stories.
Yes, so basically, they can tell whatever they can tell.
Okay. Yeah.
So regardless of how maybe it be a biographical movie, or a certain event, tackling a certain event. So anything. Basically.
Yeah, and Foundation University, because we are one of the those who are spearheading this particular film festival, is something that we are all very proud of. No, who else are with us, Jom, in airing this or in mounting the Lutas Film Festival?
We've been grateful because NCCA and FDCP has been with us since day one. Okay. They helped us on the work around of a film festival, not just financially, but the work around of how to host a film fest, and they gave us other platforms to be exposed, not just in our province, but of course nationally, like Cinema Region, for instance. We have this streaming from FDCP, OneFlix. So our films are not only shown here in our province, but of course nationally. And then we also have the city, through Dumaguete City Tourism. And then they've been really, really helpful with us. And of course, our conduit, Foundation University.
Oh yes,
was
of
been,
course.
you know,
Yeah.
Wala ang Lutas, wala ang FU.
Yes, right. And I think not many of our viewers have known this, but Lutas actually started out as a thesis, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Of a group of students who took up broadcast communication here at Foundation University. Very, very interesting, but imagine the reach and the extent of where Lutas Film Festival is now, and to think that it started out as a thesis, which of course we are still doing with our students now, no? So perhaps our students would be all the more inspired, no, to come up with such.
Yes, ma'am. Because just imagine, like, the first installment of Lutas, I think they don't have like they don't yet envisioned like what Lutas will. Like the goal of Lutas, like becoming like now, but it's basically just a showcasing of thesis films.
Yes.
And then it's quite like super like surprising that we made it this far na.
Yeah, you know, I'm having goosebumps while you are mentioning this, because imagine, no, a group of students. Little did they know that their thesis, no?
Yeah, just a thesis, and then they get to screen their films at the cinema at Robinson. So
yes.
Imagine how you know.
And it has grown today,
it has grown today na.
Yeah, to become a full blast, full-blown regional or even national film festival. Yes, okay. So far, Jom, no, because you have been festival manager in the past Lutas, and now you're also festival manager together with another colleague of ours and your fellow broadcast communication graduate, Miss Presy Muaña-Ponce, no? I think she's Mrs. Ponce now. Over the years, Jom, no, how have you seen the discipline of our filmmakers? Do you get to meet all of the filmmakers, or is it something that should not happen because you are festival manager? Are you allowed to meet them?
Yeah, definitely. I knew a lot of filmmakers who joined Lutas Film Fest, because I get to collaborate with them as well in making films. So to answer your question.
Yeah. So you've met many of them.
Of course, ma'am.
How have they grown in terms of their discipline, as well as their creativity, perhaps, or their maturity?
Yeah. Just like I mentioned before, like now, like the filmmakers here, they tend to like push boundaries. They will like invest. They will like take time on making a film, other than there's a Lutas, we have to like make film. So now like they're anticipating Lutas like for next year. They have for Lutas next year, they're preparing now.
Oh wow.
So that's how invested they are in making film. So it's quite, I feel proud with them because they're now evolving, not just as a filmmaker but as an artist as well.
And I think, Jom, it's also good to mention that you had mentioned the organizations that are spearheading the Lutas Film Festival over the years, right? No?
Yes,
together with Foundation University. So Foundation University is one. You mentioned the NCCA, or the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Then the Film Development Council of the Philippines. And then, of course, the City of Dumaguete, the LGU, through its tourism office. Yes. But I think it's also worthy, no, to mention that one of our colleagues, Juliet Cuizon Licaros, who is head of our creative department, is a member of the Executive Council of the NCCA, specifically for the Committee on Cinema. Wow, no? So that's truly something that we are all proud of. But you were classmates with Miss Juliet? Or
no, actually, she was my instructor.
Already?
Yes,
okay. But
yes, when I had my thesis, she was my instructor.
Okay, that's in fact the reason why I'm also curious at how the films, no, in themselves, and how the filmmakers have learned their craft, so to speak, no, through the years.
Yeah, to add to that point, like
sige,
Juliet, like one of the earlier filmmakers of Lutas, and then here comes a time where she get to to teach me na in filmmaking. So you can see like how Lutas have really grown through the years.
Yes, and I think, Jom, like speaking to you, of course, with Presy Muaña as the festival manager, and of course with Miss Juliet, the passion, you know, something like you could have chosen not to pursue something like this,
yes,
no? Or maybe you could have gone elsewhere, maybe not pursue something that you had studied here, but look at you now, no?
Yeah, definitely, ma'am, because it all happened here, this very place, this studio at Foundation University, because the first thing that got me into the camera thing, video and photo, is just this one time where my instructor just gave me a camera, and then what happened is just there's this South Pacific photography workshop, and then what he did is just, oh, here's a camera, just shoot. And I was like, it's my first time holding a DSLR camera. I was like, I didn't know how to like do this, blah blah blah. And then just like be there to learn and then do your thing. So from there, like the rest is history. Like, you know.
Yes, right, no. And I think not only you, no, has this particular sentiment or feeling. Many among our students, also first timers, but who have the passion, would always cringe with fright, no, when they hold a camera. It's my first time, no. I don't even know how to use this and so on. But over the years, no, the passion in them has been regained.
And to tell, like, there's a lot of like young people who are really like film enthusiasts. Like they're really interested into films, because this past months I've been like doing workshop on the filmmaking side. Like I've been to LGUs and then to schools as well. And then, man, like there's a lot of like young students who are so into films. And yeah, I think that's one of Lutas' goal, is to like, you know, to aspire young filmmakers.
Is this the best medium, Jom? Is film the best medium by which somebody can express himself or herself?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Like film is the best medium, because all mediums are in film. Cinematography is derived from photography. Photography is derived from painting. Acting is derived from theater. Writing is derived from literature.
Right.
So it's quite like film is like the master medium, you know.
So like all the skills that one needs to know, all in one, no?
Yes, ma'am. And film is a collaborative effort. Like, you know, there's production design, there's a cinematographer, there's an editor. So
So after Lutas, this is our 10th year or 11th year counting. What is the direction of Lutas now, Jom, as far as you are concerned? Where are we going?
I think this past 10 years, ma'am, it's quite I think the main goal for Lutas is to really spread film appreciation. So through that, what we did just this year is to do outreach screenings from LGUs like Bayawan, Ayungon, and Valencia. So I think from now on, we're gonna do a lot of those stuff. And then, of course, we wanna conduct workshops. Really, like if it means to like go to another municipality or town, we will definitely do it.
I think one of the questions also that may be bugging, no, our viewers, parents, young people, students alike would be, is there money in filmmaking? No.
Oh, there is.
There is.
There is, like, especially the emergence of streaming. So you can tell that whenever your film is being shown, you get to be paid.
And good that you mentioned streaming or live streaming. I think that is also one particular aspect where our films can now be shown, you know, all over
almost everywhere.
The world,
at your phone.
And at any time, right? So
Definitely.
if you missed, for example, a particular screening, you can like
you can just rewatch it. You know?
Through streaming.
Through streaming.
So, Jom, especially so that I know that you're going to be very busy. We just opened Lutas today. There are 2 more days, and we have our visitors coming.
Let's go.
Yes, right. So perhaps you can take this particular opportunity to invite all those who would still be coming over to Foundation and all those who would be interested to watch our films.
Yeah, so I'm inviting everyone to participate in our 10th year edition of Lutas Film Fest. So tomorrow we're gonna screen our short films. The first batch is gonna be in the morning at City Mall, 10 to 12. So we're gonna have 8 short films. And then by the next day on October 7th, we're gonna screen the remaining 7 films again on City Mall, 10 to 12. And then we have our resource speakers, Sonny Calvento and Kit Delegaro, on the afternoons on October 6th and on 7th.
And on the 7th, okay. So they will be lecturing twice.
Yes, ma'am.
Also.
And we also have a public screening tomorrow at Pantawan.
Okay, October 6th, no? Yes, tomorrow. What time would that be, Jom?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
At Pantawan.
Which part of Pantawan? I watched
Pantawan 1, where the Dumaguete signage is.
I see, okay. So it's, I think, closer to something like the entrance. Or something.
Bricks Hotel.
Yes, right. So that is where the screening is going to be. Yes, I was also I was at the screening of the films that won the pitch last year, and we were also at Pantawan. But on a different Pantawan. Yeah, different Pantawan. So this is Pantawan 1, I think.
Pantawan 1.
Yeah, okay. So wow, you know, I take my hat off to you, Jom, because even with your busy schedule, perhaps also you tell us what you're doing now very quickly. You're a freelancer.
I'm in a company where I do like video editing stuff, and I also shoot. So when I'm not in Dumaguete, I'm in Manila or Cebu shooting stuff, and then most of the time I'm here in Dumaguete just editing stuff. So I work with brands na like I'm working currently on Billboard Philippines. And then I worked with brands like Pantene, Infinix, Omega, and U-Beauty, and such things.
So there is money really, no?
Of course.
In filmmaking. And also I think you have your own way of delivering the goods, so to speak. You can be anywhere, no? And still deliver the goods, as they say. So good luck, and I wish you well, Jom. Of course, with Presy, with Miss Juliet, who is a member of the Executive Council of the NCCA, specifically for the Committee on Cinema, for bringing once again Lutas Film, not really bringing, no, but bringing back or something, because it originally was a part of Foundation University. So I know that you have your hands full really in the next 2 days, Jom, but I will see you in the lectures, in the screening at City Mall, and also at the Pantawan, and of course here. I hope you still get the stamina and of course the energy to entertain the visitors that would be coming over to Foundation University. We will be right back, friends. And again, please do not forget the schedule that was mentioned by Mr. Jomar, especially that we are now hosting once again the 10th Lutas Film Festival here at Foundation University. Our second segment will be right back.
Located at Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental, Philippines, Foundation University is an institution that strives to provide quality education for all. Continues to be at the forefront of innovative teaching and academic excellence. Founded by Dr. Vicente G. Sinco in 1949. FU has become a home to diverse Foundationites coming from different regions and cities in the Philippines. It is a non-profit, non-sectarian institution, accessible to all, offering several fields of study for its undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate students through blended learning. Serves to educate and further develop individuals to become productive, creative, and responsible citizens of society. Foundation University proves it is an institution prepared to face adversities and challenges, as innovation is the heart of its goal. Despite the obstruction of a global pandemic, the university continues to pursue its development plans, create action, and bring its vision into a suitably adaptive reality. In FU, We ensure that no students are left behind. We stay true and commit to provide the best education to all Foundationites. We foster a dynamic and progressive environment that cultivates effective learning, generates innovative ideas, responds to societal needs, and offers opportunities for all. Through the Global Giving platform, our dreams and visions are slowly turning into possibility through financial support and donations. One important project that Foundation U spearheads is the Foundation Preparatory Academy Science Wing. This concept was developed to precisely address the issues facing science education at the elementary and high school levels. This concept was developed to precisely address the issues facing science education at the elementary and high school levels through the aid of advanced technology, improvement of science laboratories, and equipment for enhanced academic learning. Teaching science subjects pose a challenge for most mentors and teachers. Most students have a low performance and less interest in science subjects. This may be caused by the lack of illustrations that would best explain the topics and intricacies of the subject matters. To address this growing problem, we saw the adaptation and use of audiovisual presentations and actual hands-on experiments in science education. Video clips are to be utilized to help explain the science theories and concepts. Availability of science laboratory rooms with complete equipment. We aim to become a catalyst of transformation where every student develops a high interest in science education. Through the development and construction of Science Wing FPA, we believe that it will greatly create a positive impact to the community where science is a fundamental learning in our daily lives. We want your help in building this dream project into reality. We assure you that any form of assistance, may it be financial help or manpower sources, are put to work in what is being planned and serves its purpose.
Hi friends, iGreyhound is back once again, and this time for our second segment, we shall be speaking and engaging a young man, and well, he is not exactly a newcomer here at Foundation University because you will know later on or in a little while. So friends, may I introduce to all our viewers someone who many people are already familiar with, especially if you are here on campus, and I'd like to introduce him to all our televiewers. Well, at least this is going to be in a more formal sense. I'd like to introduce Mr. Leandro Sinco, although we call him on campus as Andy. Hi Andy, welcome to our show.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much for accommodating our request. Now, Andy, you are a namesake of both your paternal grandfather and of course your father, although of course your father has a second name. His second name is Leandro, but you are Leandro Sinco, and you are fondly called, your nickname is Andy, and you are the son, and I think you have your own identity, but we have to establish that, right? That you are the son of Luis Leandro Sinco, who we fondly call Sir Tata. An award-winning photojournalist from the Los Angeles Times, and I think we are all mighty proud of that. And of course, the nephew of the university president, architect Victor Vicente Dean Sinco. So your being here on campus, Andy, is something that is really auspicious and an opportune time, especially so that I understand that you have just earned your master's degree in education. Yeah. So I think this is the best venue for you, Andy, no? To probably like spread your wings and make sure that you have applied what you have learned back in the U.S. But tell us your childhood shuttling between the U.S. and Dumaguete. Tell us about these things.
Yeah. So just. When I was a kid, starting from when I was 8 years old, okay. So in the 4th grade, we came to TV-Dumaguete almost every summer.
Okay.
So from when I was 8 years old to about 13 years old, I came every single summer.
Yeah.
Just a vacation and see foundation.
Correct.
And yeah, it's just very nice, like not only like seeing everyone who has been around for all that time, but also like maintaining the relationship. And like I have so many like uncles and aunts from people who have worked and have studied at foundation who are still around. So
yes, you know, people who you mentioned individuals and people who are still here, no, through the years, and people who remember you as a young kid, as a boy, also are amazed at how, you know, how tall you have grown and so on. No? But you know, your background, no, especially so that you have a master's degree in education. Aside from an undergraduate degree in international studies, where did you earn this, Andy?
The international studies degree I got at UC San Diego.
Okay.
And then the master's degree I got from Relay Graduate School.
Okay.
In Denver, Colorado.
Yes, and I understand that immediately after graduation, no, and after you had like tucked your diploma in your master's degree, you taught mathematics in particular. Tell us about this, Andy.
Yeah, so I taught, I was a student teacher for 1 year. So I was in a classroom, in a 7th grade classroom with another teacher, a master teacher.
Okay.
And about halfway through that year, they transitioned to me to become like a blended learning teacher, which is basically like if students are behind grade level because of the pandemic or because of any other like factors, they put them in a blended learning class. So it's basically like a program where students catch up on math and English and reading skills. So for about half the year, I was a student teacher, and then I was a blended learning teacher. And then the second year, I was a full-blown math teacher for the entire year.
Yes, right. And how old are these kids? These are grade school, what we call as grade school here?
Yeah, so 7th grade would be like 12, 13 years old, and then 9th grade was like 13 to 15 years old.
Yes. Well, was it like, not really easy, no? But was it something that was quite not difficult to adjust, especially so that you just came fresh out of school yourself?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they see me, they don't think immediately like, oh, he's a teacher, or like I fit the stereotype of what a teacher should be. But I think, like for me, it was really easy to adjust. I think, because I was young, but the school leadership at the schools that I was at was really good. And they did a lot of professional development and training. So even though I had just been kind of thrown into a classroom and I was very new to it, they were like constantly observing and making notes and meeting with me to improve my teaching practice. So I think in that first year, I really learned a lot about being a great teacher, and then the second year, it was just more like application and drilling and fine-tuning. Yeah.
Now that you know that your family, you know, the Sinco family, is a name to reckon with insofar as education is concerned, especially with formal education, and now that you've seen the vast campus of Foundation University, what goes on in your mind, Andy? Like, do you remember the time when you were very young, a kid, an 8-year-old kid? Were you amazed at the vastness of the campus and so on?
When I was 8, I was really amazed with just like everything that went on here, and it was very like technologically advanced and just like basically the same as education in the United States. So I thought it was great. It was great. Like as a kid, I didn't really take it in for what it all can be. And now that I'm seeing it, I'm like really amazed. And it's a little bit like stressful because it's like, it's just like, it's a huge campus and it's a lot of responsibility. And I'm just kind of like a brand new face here, even though I have been here before. So I'm still adjusting and trying to find my place in Foundation.
Yes. What do you remember the most of your granddad? I understand that he passed on, Sir Andy, also Andy, passed on when you were 3 years old. But do you have at least some recollection of your grandfather?
Yeah, I just remember like swinging on the back porch with him and him being very gentle with my 2 younger sisters. But from what my parents have told me, although my parents like don't get along the best, my mom loved my lolo, and she thought he was really smart and like he was good with relationships. Whereas like, you know, sometimes my dad and my mom, or my dad and my mom and my lola might clash.
Yeah.
My lolo Andy was always like kind of the mediary.
Yeah.
And besides that, like my dad has told me that he was like a really good businessman, really good with numbers. So that's just all I know about my lolo, just small things like remembering him on the back porch, and then things that my mom and dad have told me about him.
Yeah, so those that you may have heard, no, from especially conversations among family members, right? Now, what do you think are the best characteristics coming from both your mom and your dad that you may have inculcated in yourself, Andy? I wonder if you are the best person who I'm going to ask, but I think you can sense that in yourself, right?
Yeah. I think like I take a lot of inspiration from my dad. Obviously, like the reason that I study international studies was because my dad had been to all these like war zones and, you know, places that have gone through a lot of like a political conflict. So I was really interested in that, like just coming out of high school, and it's really inspiring when, you know, you hear about like war stories and just like the devastation and destruction that has occurred like throughout the world because of war. So I was like inspired by that to try and like have some type of impact on that. But I think like from my dad, besides that, I think I've gotten like a lot of creativity. And I think just like both my parents are like super parents, right? Like,
of course.
They give me just about everything I need. So it was easy for me to like take up things like music, like surfing, and be able to like go to a really good school, UC San Diego, and get my master's degree. From my mom, I think I get like a lot of my like emotional sense.
Good.
Just growing up with like 3 sisters, I was always like more of like on like the feminine side in the group of boys that I grew up with. So I'd say like from my mom and my sisters, I'm like more sensitive, and I'm more like in tune with my emotions than I think a lot of people might be.
Are you more of a protective older brother, or are you more liberal with your sisters?
I feel protective, but also like I've seen them like have boyfriends and stuff, and like I'm not like, oh, what the heck? Who are you? Obviously, like my sisters are really smart, and like I trust their decision making, and like, you know, the people they hang out with or the boyfriends they choose. So I'm not like a super protective older brother that's like hovering around them all the time,
or a bully perhaps.
But like if obviously like if someone does something to my sisters that I don't like, I'm not going to be nice to them.
Of course, of course. You that do that. No, I cannot imagine you also doing those things, no? When your dad, Sir Tata, was here, and he comes here very often, periodically. In fact, we have interviewed him also on iGreyhound a couple of times, or I think 2 or 3 times. But I have seen that you are quite close to your dad, no? And your mom as well. I was actually trying to look at your Facebook account, no? But you are also quite close to your mom, Andy, and that's really very heartwarming, no? Is there a sense of like making sure that I am close to both my mom and my dad, because they're not together, right? Your mom and your dad.
I think it's been easy to just kind of be like involved with both my parents because they live very close. Like they live just a few blocks away from each other on the same exact street. So I can walk between my 2 parents' house.
Very convenient.
It's very convenient. Thanks to my dad for getting the house really close. But just like in the past recent years, I've lived with my dad. So since about the pandemic started, I've been living with my dad. But before that, I lived with my mom like my entire childhood growing up. So I'd say like now me and my dad's relationship is getting a lot closer. And I've always had a great relationship with my mom, so it's easy to just kind of go in between and have dinner with my mom a couple nights a week, have dinner with my dad a couple nights a week.
You have cousins, of course, who are all boys, right? With architect, our president, architect Dean Sinco. How is your relationship with them? You're all boys anyway, no? He has 4 sons, and you are the only son from your dad and your mom.
My relationship with my cousins is pretty good. I don't see them very often.
Okay.
The last time I saw my youngest cousin, Matt, was in the Philippines when we were like 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
So it's been over 10 years.
You're 23 now,
right?
No? Yes. Okay.
But I saw the other 3 cousins. They lived in Seattle. So my sister Sunny, my older sister, she lives in Seattle, and a few years ago she got married. So we went up there to go to her wedding, and I saw my 3 cousins. And every time I visit Seattle, we get together with them. But I would say, like, the cousin that I feel like most connected with and like that I share the most interest with is my cousin Patrick, because he's also a musician. So every time I get together with him, we're always like, you know, passing music back and forth and bonding over that. So
yeah, that's really great. So your interests, aside of course from you mentioned surfing, you mentioned music. What else are you most interested in, Andy?
I love nutrition. Like that's one of my new like interests and like things that I'm kind of studying and trying to decide for myself. And shoot, I like skateboarding. I really enjoy urban art, like some of the murals that Hersley has done. Urban art is huge in the States and it's everywhere, so it's nice to enjoy and to watch people paint. Do you get to do the things that you used to do back in the US and now that you're here in the Philippines? Dumaguete in particular. Yeah, I just went surfing this last weekend.
Great.
Yeah, so that was really fun. It was like unreal to see that there were waves in Negros. Like I would have never thought. So when I saw that there were waves, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this.
Right. But was it your first time to go surfing now that you have grown up?
No, I surf every single day when I'm back at home.
In the US?
Yeah, in the United States. Almost every single day I try to go surfing. Get some exercise.
And then of course, we will be remiss, or I will be remiss if we don't mention your grandmother, the President Emeritus of Foundation University, Dr. Mira Sinco. And she is, well, a ubiquitous presence, and we appreciate it very much on campus. What are some things that you may have gotten from her in terms of life lessons, in terms of like words of wisdom? And I know that there may be a lot, no?
Yeah, I think it's like just hearing like her story and how she came up through education is really inspiring. And to think that like a little Filipino girl from Cavite is now the president of Foundation University here in Dumaguete is like really inspiring. And she's really self-made. Just like growing up, me and my Lola weren't like the closest because I'm like the least Filipino out of all of my cousins and my sisters.
Really? Least Filipino?
I mean, I'm very white.
Yeah.
Like, so I felt like when I was younger, me and my Lolo didn't like bond as much, and like she, you know, she was more strict when I was younger. So now being here and being able, like, showing her that I'm really interested in in foundation, and just spending time with her now that she's older, it's been really good. And I'm like really happy that I get this time with my Lola, because you know, you never know. I lost my last grandma a few Thanksgivings ago. So I'm just trying to cherish my Lola as much as possible.
And you know, I also struck a conversation with your grandmother a few weeks ago when we had a social event here on campus, and she said that you look a lot more like your maternal grandfather. That was what she said, no? So I think she dotes on you as well. Also, Andy. So you mean your sisters are not really fair-skinned?
No, they look more Filipino.
I see.
I just turned out like a white kid.
Really? So even your countenance is very American, very like your mother. Your features.
Yeah, my mom. I look a lot like my mother's dad.
The fact that here you are now, no, at the Foundation University. Are you excited about like being part of the university that your grandfather had founded, and even your great grandfather, Vicente Sinco?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and like not so much about the fact that it's like my family's school, but I'm really excited about like how well the students are doing in FPA, how well students are doing over here at Foundation. That's what really excites me, is like the potential for social mobility and like the potential that these students have to change the world. That's what really excites me, not so much like that it's my family's business.
Yeah, right. Have you gotten to meet many of our students already?
Oh, yeah.
Like, where have you been going around, the colleges and the various departments?
Mostly in the FPA, but I have gone to like the College of Education. I went to one of Mom Presy's classes.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that was really nice, and it was great to see like students training to become the future teachers. I went to an architecture class. So, and that was really fun, and it's really interesting to see like how many students are inspired by my uncle. Like it's crazy the impact that he has, and every kid wants to be an architect.
Exactly.
So yeah, I've just been going around, like kind of here in the TV studio a little bit.
And taking a peek at the facilities that we may have and other things. The engagement that you have had so far, perhaps not only with our students, but even our administrators, our faculty members, how has it been, Andy? Like the exchanges, especially of information or maybe of ideas and insights, like are there some takeaways that you may have gotten for yourself?
For myself, I need to talk slower.
Really?
I think like I have like a very thick...
You talk fast? Do you talk fast? I'm trying to also decipher.
Kind of. I think it's also like I have a really thick Californian accent.
You know, at the back of my mind, I was telling myself that he kind of has a thick accent.
Right. Yeah. So I think like you just like minor like pronunciations of like specific syllables and specific sounds.
Did they tell you that? Or
I think people kind of get confused because they're like, wait, what is he saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just like a takeaway, is just like talk really slow and like try to enunciate, because I do, like it's, even though I don't acknowledge it, I know now that I have like a very heavy accent.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I will have to affirm that, because when I met you or sometime a few weeks ago, and even if it was just a, you know, an informal, pleasant encounter, I noticed really, that you had a thick accent, but actually it's not a problem. But now that I'm speaking to you up close and personal, I can actually understand what you're saying, no? So that should not be a problem at all. But the kids over at the FPA, how did they regard you? Here is this very tall, giant American or something.
I think like when I walk into the class, they kind of, sit up in their seat and they're like, let's do this right. And I saw like the other day, I saw like a little like written note on a piece of paper, and it said, "Sir," I don't know who it was. It was from a student, but it said, "Sir Andy, sir, yes, sir."
Oh, really? Oh,
so that was just kind of funny to see. Like they're like when I come around, they're like, "Oh, let's act right and do our work."
So in other words, because you had your exposure to kids like them over at your school in Colorado, am I right? Yeah, in Denver, Colorado, and then here at Foundation Preparatory Academy. I wonder, are kids the same really all over the world, or do they have a particular characteristic that they may possess?
I mean, kids are like unique here and unique in Denver, but I think that like the overall like classroom procedures and policies and expectation setting, I think it works no matter where you are.
Yes, right.
And especially like here in the Philippines, I think students are like more cooperative, and they have that culture of like stand up when the teacher comes in. Good morning, mom, or sir, blank.
I think you have to credit your grandma, of course, for instilling that in them. That's really very good. But before we go, I have prepared some fast talk for you. You're familiar with fast talk. Don't give me a reason why you had answered such, but just choose from among the items that I will be throwing to you, and just one choice. And then I think there's also a question here about a yes or no thing. Very easy. Okay, fast talk, as how we say it, right? Okay, beach or mountain?
Beach.
New phone or new shoes?
New phone.
Music or art?
Music.
Okay, brain or beauty?
Brain.
Dine in or take out?
Take out.
Pop or reggae?
Pop.
Rice or pasta?
Rice.
LeBron James or Kobe Bryant?
Kobe, LA.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. This one, be able to breathe underwater or be able to fly?
Breathe underwater as a surfer, yeah.
Chubby or sexy?
Sexy.
Willowy. Okay. Oh my. Favorite color, Andy?
Red.
Okay, yeah. Would you want one wish to be granted to you today or 3 wishes to be granted to you in 10 years' time?
3 wishes in 10 years' time.
Okay. From 1 to 10, how loyal are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how loyal are you?
I would say like a 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How many times have you fallen in love? Really in love? Huh? How many times? Careful.
Probably twice, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. And this one, complete the statement. I actually saw this in one of the posts on your account. Complete this statement. I hope something like this will happen on my birthday, which is going to be in November, right? Hopefully
there'll be some waves, some surf.
Oh, only that one? Yeah, I think you will get it. Okay. Thank you very much, right, Andy. But before we go again, any words that you'd like to leave by for our televiewers, for everybody here at Foundation, even for friends in the US, because we're also seen there?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm so thankful for the opportunity that everyone's giving me at Foundation. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really excited as to what the future of Foundation looks like. And I'm really really surprised by how well the FBA and the students here at Foundation are doing. So just keep it up. Like, I'm here to stay, and I'm here for you. This isn't just for me, this is to serve you. So I'm excited what the future holds for Foundation.
Yes, and next year is going to be our Diamond Jubilee, our 75th year, and of course counting. Andy, thank you very much. We hope to have you again in another episode of iGreyhound, and I'd like to strike a conversation with you if we bump into each other on campus. Thank you very much once again, Andy. So with that, friends, we bring to a close another episode of iGreyhound. We have just spoken with Leandro, Andy Sinco, and I know that he has his own identity, but definitely we will be seeing more of him on campus and even outside of the campus. Please do not forget, our replays are on Fridays and Saturdays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon on Channel 6 of Filproducts TV-Dumaguete, and we are also being streamed live on the Facebook page of Foundation University. Thank you very much once again to my stylist, Miss Nicole Calumpang, for always making sure that I look chic on the show. This has been Cecile Henove bidding everyone a pleasant evening.